that. I don't really. Oh shoot!
What?
Well, we're started on here, but I gotta put the SD card back in the recorder before we can start on here.
Act natural.
There, Ryan, give the YouTube people something worth their money.
Stop talking to me. I'm acting natural.
I don't know what that means.
More gooder?
Yeah, it's good. It's more gooder now.
More gooder. Perfect.
All right, welcome back to the Marsh Boys podcast. I'm Brian.
It's Sunday.
No, that's not what you were gonna say.
What was I gonna say?
What'd you say earlier?
I am Lothar, destroyer of worlds and
I don't know.
videos.
Sure, we'll run with that. And tonight we're joined again by Scotty from Turning Point Outdoors.
How we doing, boys?
What's up?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, you
Yes, sir.
too.
It's been a hot minute, but we got you back on, and I'm sure we're gonna have a good conversation.
Mhm.
Absolutely, man. Glad to be back. Thank you for having me back.
You said you got a mixed drink. What are you drinking?
We're doing makers and little sweet tea. So,
Ah,
Nice.
okay.
and the makers is actually from my old man. It's his quote unquote. It was his quote unquote retirement gift to himself, and so we bought a barrel of makers. And
Hold on. Did you just say a barrel?
yes, sir.
Good night. That's one hell of a retirement gift.
Yeah. Well, and his quote unquote retirement only lasted about 2 weeks, and yeah, I remember I called him up and, hey, old man, what are you doing? How's retirement treating you? And I remember he goes, well, I'm power washing the fucking trash can, so how do you think it's going right now? So, but
I've
no, he,
seen that with so many of these old farmers and whatnot, or these older guys that have done nothing but been in the trades their whole lives. They
Mhm.
retire and they're not doing like strenuous work, but they might be
Yeah,
working for a farmer now, or driving a parts truck or something.
They don't stop.
yep,
Then they're just
Yeah.
volunteering their time for free. That's what my dad does.
no, and he was, there was actually an Orbis store that opened up pretty close to the house, and he actually went to go work there. And yeah, then he'd be, was just running the fly fishing section. He's a huge, huge fly fisherman, and yeah, ran the store and then became manager of it. And yeah, I mean, he was killing it, and they were basically giving him, told him, hey, here's 3 trips a year. Where do you want to go? So
Really?
That works
he
out good.
he would plan it, book it, get the guys for it, and then go fishing. So he went Bahamas this year, and then Greenland, and I think they're going to Iceland next. So
Oh,
yeah,
so you're not talking like small trips.
no, he's where do you want to go? Okay, yeah, let's go test out bonefish down there, which he's done it in years past, but I guess he wanted to go back. So
That's
it's
that's pretty
but
cool.
We
but
need to
no,
bury
he's
that in our contract.
no, that's right. But yeah, man, he's that's his. If he could die on a trout stream, he would.
Mhm.
That's his thing. So
That's his
not
Canada
saying
Goose for you.
yeah, absolutely. Not saying he's not a big hunter because he is, but yeah, if he had to choose, it'd be trout fishing. So
Now, before we go into the more exciting part of what we want to talk about today, before we started recording, we were talking about deer hunting.
yep.
Tell us a little bit more about that buck you shot a couple weeks ago.
Well, yeah, man. So I was pretty fortunate to finally shoot a buck on my birthday, November 9th. And yeah, I've been bow hunting for 22 years now. I was finally able to do it. And yeah, man, he really good, respectable buck. He's a main 7. He's got some other, kickers and shit, but just a main 7. And yeah, come in chasing the doe, made a scrape, turned around, and he come walking past it like 12, 14 yards, something like that. And yeah, put a good shot on him, watch him fall, and yeah, man, I'd rather my presents get wrapped in feathers, but I had to settle for fur this year, so it was good. It was a good birthday present. So
Mhm.
Now, is this a deer you've seen before?
so I've got one picture of him, and I run cameras all over the farm from like this year. I started in June, mainly because I was bored, but so I had a pretty good idea on what was running around the farm, and yeah, I had actually got one picture of him 2 days before I killed him on the 7th. He come cruising by that stand in the morning, and yeah, I sent it to a buddy. I'm like, I don't know this deer. I haven't seen him before. And then, uh, first second I seen him, I told him, said to myself, yeah, I'll shoot you. And that's what ended up happening. But no, don't know the deer. And and I tell my buddies a lot this time. I mean, you're shooting the neighbor's deer, because bucks are cruising so much,
Yep.
and it's nothing for a buck to go a couple miles,
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
and even past that, and definitely down by you guys where it's way more open, flat, and your woodlots are considerably smaller to what we have up here.
Yep.
So, and but no, there's bucks up here that I've killed that have been on buddies' farms 2 miles away, and shoot them that first second week in November, and so you just never know. You just gotta be out in the tree, boys. So
Yeah.
Now, do you do much deer hunting after Thanksgiving?
um, yeah, I go out, traditional 6 day. I'll hunt dark to dark, opening day. That's kind of just been what we do, and then maybe get out a few days during the week. We don't do as many drives now, but every now and then we'll go push a patch. And but yeah, and then winter bow, I'll get out quite a bit during winter bow. That's mainly what I do. Uh, but you know, I do love shooting with a shotgun. Don't get me wrong, but
That's
yeah,
that's the one thing that's eluded me. I
yeah,
started out deer hunting when I was 10. I didn't kill a deer till I was 22, 21 when I got my bow license, and I still have yet to
really,
shoot one with a shotgun.
no shit. It's
Yep.
so
It's going to happen this year. Doe or buck, I don't care what it
Did
is.
you ever drive?
abs-
Yeah, and I got shot at, and I'll never go
no,
back.
Hmm.
that's just with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
You get
good.
used to it.
I don't know if I do it or
No,
not, to be honest with you.
no, it's
Hey,
no,
yeah,
it's
you'll be
not,
all right.
man. No. Anytime you got to hug a tree, it's like, no, I ain't,
I
we
was
did that
standing
shit when we were young. Yeah.
I was standing between two trees like a split oak, and I saw this doe about 100 yards pop out of the woods. And
Hmm.
there's two drivers walking the edge line up. And you can hear them go standers ahead, standers ahead. Well, the kid all the way on the end probably just didn't hear anybody.
Yep.
Let off, bow, bow. And I heard, soof, 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 soof. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good, boys.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's never settling feeling, man, when you hear double out buckshot swing past your
Yeah.
head.
Smacking trees behind you.
So
I
it
remember.
sounds like you do a lot more deer hunting than I thought. Do you end up splitting the time evenly, you think, or you still are all in for the birds?
I mean, I'm still all in for the birds. I mean, yes, I am a very big deer hunter.
Mhm.
And yeah, I've been doing it since shit. Dad was taking me at 7, 8 years old, going out to the stand
Mm.
with him, and I think I killed my first one at 9, 10 with a shotgun. It was during buck week with them on a drive. We were in a stand, but it was a drive. But no, it was. Uh, yeah, I definitely chase them more than people think. Like I love the off season stuff. Land
Yeah.
management. Uh, you know, um, doing all the stuff a lot of people aren't willing to do.
Mhm.
As
Do you
far
run
as
any
that.
food plots?
Yeah, so I went this year. I put in a few, made up homemade like chain, fence drag, I guess,
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
the four-wheeler,
yeah.
and
Stretch hair.
yeah, I was able to get some clover in, and then yeah, I'm always running corn. We all run corn,
All
and
run
Mhm.
corn.
I run a lot of it, boys. It's I need to get sponsored by Tractor Supply or something, but
Yeah.
um. But no, yeah, a lot of corn, blocks, mineral in the off season. Let's see what else. Put it in. Honestly, this year, and it's the new fad, I guess. But water. Having water at your spots.
I was thinking about that today. So
Yep.
the area I hunt, there's no real water source like puddles and stuff, but
Hmm.
there's no rivers or anything within a couple miles of where I hunt. I don't know where
Yep.
these deer are drinking out of. And I thought, how can I put something in, run a pipe under the ground,
Mm.
like some kind of like
Like an irrigation system or what, like a
ye-
runoff system.
something like that, where it connects to a tub and goes like 100 yards to this like kiddie pool in the woods.
Hmm.
And then every couple days, just come out, open the valve for 5 minutes, and then close it back
Yep.
up.
Well, and to be honest, right now, at one of my spots, I'm eventually going there with one of the big, 100-gallon Rubbermaid low water
Yep.
tanks,
Yep.
Mm.
but I had them laying in the shed, but two concrete mixers, right? And I went and dug a hole and put them right next to each other, and I take a cooler out there, a Yeti cooler, and I fill them both up, in one trip. And
Mm.
uh, honestly, it's just that little bit of a difference, improvement into that little, that spot. I mean, the amount of deer and shoot, watching, I got the camera on it. You got raccoons and squirrels and all kinds of
Mhm.
shit that are coming
Yeah.
in there. So, yeah, one spot that is not really my main go-to spot, but I've been very fortunate to shoot quite a few bucks in this stand. Kind of went in there and just threw the kitchen sink at them, planted a couple apple trees. I put this water system in. I've been running bait and mineral there for the last several years. I've got mock scrapes all throughout it with ropes over them. I put in a food plot right there in the woods. Like it's kind of just it's just kind of like little testing area. What's working and what's not. And
Yeah.
Mm.
How do you
you
like the
know
ropes?
I like them. It's because I think it definitely absorbs that scent a lot better, I guess, than in a branch or anything like that, and two, you get everything that comes in and checks it out.
I
Bucks,
was going to
does,
say, that's
and
not,
fawns.
you're not necessarily using that rope as an attractant. That's just something to grab their attention as they're
That
walking through, right?
that's like a big community scrape that you see. One
Yeah.
of those big ass scrapes that are, half the size of a truck hood. It's
Yeah.
the same kind of principle. That's where all the bucks are hitting that rope's coming down. And each deer, has its own little individual scent. They know which deer has come through and checked it
Mm.
out. Like Big Louie can come through and say, oh, Sally was here earlier. I'm gonna kind of stick around here, or whatever it may be. But I think
Yeah.
that's kind of a meeting point for all the deer to come in, smell it, leave their scent, and move on. You know,
These are like a newer thing, aren't they? I just started hearing about ropes this year. I didn't
Yeah.
hear
I
about them
forget what
before.
yeah,
company like really, really advertises them. It's that they got like big orange letters or something.
Mm.
They use hemp
yeah,
rope.
I can't remember off the
I
top of my
never
head,
heard about it
but
before this. Granted, I'm not a very big deer hunter, but
mhm.
I never heard about it before this year until my boss
No.
was the first person I heard it from.
Well, it's every year there's something new, and it's something
Hmm.
new to try out. You go back 4 or 5 years, hinge cutting and going and thicking up your
Yeah.
bedding areas, and
Yep.
then now it's water, and a couple of years ago, like you're saying, it was the ropes over scrapes, and
Hmm.
so it's just something. Yeah, man, it's there's a thousand ways to skin a cat. So
Yeah.
it's fun just to test it out there, and
Hmm.
Yeah. That's like,
but
as far as getting into new stuff, by winter bow, I'll probably be getting into hunting out of a saddle.
yeah, that's the
And
next thing. Yep.
I've done so. I talked to a couple guys about it, and I'm
Deathly
scared.
scared of heights.
I'm scared of
Hmm.
heights.
He makes me get up on the ladder if they have to change the barn light bulb.
Hey, that's all right, man. Shit,
And
you know.
I've been looking at so many videos, and I first brought up getting a saddle to my buddy, and he was like, "You won't
Hmm.
do it." And I'm like, "No, like I don't think that's the case with this." I said,
Yep.
"Everything I've looked into it is like you can test this until you're comfortable at 6 inches off the ground.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it's not like a ladder stand or a hang-on stand where you don't know what you're doing until you're 15 feet off the ground."
Up there.
Mm.
Yeah. No, and I've tested out my buddy Ryan's setup, And yeah, same thing. I put one stick up the tree, put the platform on, got up there, and you're swinging around the tree, and you're really able to kind of test the limits of that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see what you can do. I was kind of the same way. I've always been a ladder stand guy just because
Hmm.
the convenience of it and shit.
Yep.
Um, I do have lock-ons that I hang out of, but um, yeah, that's the next. I'm kind of looking towards the saddle setup myself just to be able to, make those little micro adjustments. I've got stands all over the farm that are kind of permanent. We run the baits there. That's where, they've been ran at the same spot for several years. And now it's just, let's get a saddle set up to where, if I go in on a whiskey wind on a deer, I can jump over on the other side and
Yep.
give him the
You're not
wind just
limited.
to give him the wind just enough to where he feels comfortable coming in, but it also works for me as well,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing because you can't go in and say you're hunting a spot with a ladder stand
Mhm.
and then at 9 o'clock the wind switches. You
Exactly.
can't just hop down and move your ladder stand 45 degrees around that tree
No.
in an applicable amount of time.
Mhm.
Yeah. The same thing with like a climber, and don't get me wrong, climbers are great. They serve their purpose. They still work. You
Yeah,
still get lots of deer shot out of them. But I think the saddle setup is just like you're
They
saying,
just look the
quicker.
most comfortable.
They really do. I get buddies that'll send me snaps and they're just full sprayed,
yeah.
laid back
Mhm.
off the tree, snoozing, laying on the bridge and whatnot. But yeah, and I mean, I get it. You have full attention to the tree the entire time. You know,
Yeah.
when you're in a stand, you set that strap for your safety harness just enough to where you have,
Mhm.
room to kind of move around in and whatnot. And but in the saddle, you have full attention to the tree at all times. So
Yes.
it's yeah, that'll definitely be added to the arsenal. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I'm going to end up going with the Latitude Method 3.
is it okay?
That that one looks by far that's like industry standard. I think right now. I
Is it
think
okay?
that's the top of the line one.
What about
I
them
just need
tethered ones?
Oh no, tethered as a whole
that
is
is
like
good.
the saddle company.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
the ones I see the most of.
I think they were one of the first ones to come out with the whole kits and everything like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I just need one big enough pad for my ass. That's all
Yeah,
I want.
that's why I'm going with the Latitude. It's got the hinge set up, so you got a back pad and the one under your ass.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Good.
But anyway, enough about deer hunting. I know how your September went. Tell everybody else how your September
Yeah,
went.
this is crazy.
It was pretty good.
That's a
We
modest
did
way to put it.
It was all right.
we we did all right. It was we did all right in Jersey. We started out opening day. I think we killed like right around 20, something like
Mhm.
that. Had and got the boys out and got old Goose out and Hardy, my good buddy Andrew's dog. And so yeah, couldn't complain about opening day.
So wait, do you
And
hold on? Do
that
you have a dog named Goose too?
I do, yes.
I did not. What did I know that?
I don't remember if
Yeah,
you
we
ever
talked
talked
about it on the
about
last
that.
podcast.
All right. Yeah. See, there goes my memory. All right. Sorry. Go
It's
ahead.
all good. But yeah, and then so I went up to upstate New York where I go up and help out at Eastern View Outfitters. And yeah, man, it was one for the books. So we ran 3 weeks out of the month. Um, there was a couple groups first of the month that Bryce had ran, and I think our total at that point after the two groups was like 150 or so. Great. For early
Mhm.
season birds and hunting true residents at that time.
Mhm.
Um, but we really kicked off running more groups on the 15th. Uh, beforehand that week prior, we went out and set the big rigs. We ran uh, three, yeah, migrator rigs to where like my main spread, the big rig we call it, it's got a 40-foot A-frame blind. and out in the middle of about a 100-acre grass field. And I think we ran right around 1,500 decoys around that. Um, and yeah, man, and you know, it's less than a mile south of the Canadian border. It's the first pickings at them when they cross that imaginary line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, from the 15th to the 25th, we killed over 2,100 birds. Um,
Excuse me?
Oh my god.
I
we,
thought the number was like 380.
no, sir. That we killed 380 in one day.
Oh
Okay,
my
okay,
god.
that's the
Yeah,
number I
it was.
remember then. Holy
We killed over 2,100 birds. Um, and yeah, that was from the 15th to the 25th. But to be honest, the majority of that was done in 6 days. Uh, we had a major push come down on the 19th, and you couldn't you couldn't look a direction and not see just migrator flocks stacked up on top of each other.
Hmm.
It was the craziest push that I've ever seen personally, and honestly, once we started, it was hard to stop. But
yeah.
we'd go run our groups in the morning, uh, go drop birds off at the cleaners. Uh, the guides, we'd meet up and have lunch, and then we'd have, like an hour or two before have to go out and scout for the next day, and be like, all right, we got an hour. Let's go out to the rig. Let's see what happens. And yeah, I was able. So we had John Walls. Shout out to him for winning Champion of Champions yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Hmm.
He did, man. It's a hell of a. I mean, he made history last night.
Yeah.
And a great guy, most humble guy I've ever met. Um, and then we also had Josh Elchinsky, I believe,
Yes. Yes.
is how he say his last name. um, Another great dude. Uh, Both hellacious on a goose call.
I was
Um,
just gonna say, you just had in one goose blind, you just named two of the top five in the world last year.
yes. And there was a fourth who is the silent contract killer, man. He is he's from PA, nicknamed Sandy, but it's Sean Sanderson, and the man is an absolute killer, and he's a fucking legend. And yeah, and I was able to share quite a few afternoon hunts with those boys, and it's something that is gonna stay with me forever, just because I got to share the blind with those guys, but also to the shit that we were able to experience together. Uh, we had one afternoon where we had a major push at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were literally working Canada's like snow geese. They were tornadoing down on top of us. It was just flock after flock stacked on
Yeah.
top. And at one point, we were all in awe because of what we were witnessing. It
Hmm.
was, I think at one point, we had set probably close to 100, 150 on the ground all the way around the blind on us. And there were still birds stacked on top, dropping down on us. Um, and I've shared quite a few videos to the story of that, and I'm going to continue to share
Yeah.
stories of that. Just because not for the likes and shit. It's just to show what we get to experience and
That's
what
yeah,
makes it so
yeah,
fucking great.
exactly.
So
Well,
yeah, it was.
let me ask you about this. So you had Josh and John sitting next to
Hmm.
you in the blind. You
Hmm.
you you yourself are a guide, not only when you go up to New York, but when you stay down here in Jersey sometimes.
Hmm.
You're always running a call yourself. Is like how was it sitting back and watching two of the highest level goose callers just work their magic in the field like that? Or did you jump in on it yourself?
Oh, I was definitely calling right there with them, but it was yeah, I definitely sat back a few times and just watched those guys work and tried to learn as much as I could from them. And but yeah, especially those high flyers, I'm ripping a call on them. No,
Yeah.
no question who's in the block. But it was, yeah, the shit that we were able to do, all four of us, because Sandy's, he's great on a goose call as well. Um, but yeah, the stuff that we were able to do, with all of us in the blind and that many birds, and that many workable birds.
Do you kill those birds without that calling?
With a big rig like that, I don't think so. You can't have that many decoys out there and be quiet.
Gotcha.
Um,
Fair enough.
It makes sense.
we had I think, 'cause, I mean, we had it. So my personal best day was 154, um, and out of the big rig, and we had a guy that was hunting the neighboring property. It's
He's
only a little. It's only like an 80-acre field, right? And he's bumped up the spread a little bit over the years. I'll give it to him. But he started out with about 30 Bigfoots. And not saying you can't kill birds over 30 Bigfoots, but when you're sitting right next to 1,500,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a little bit of problems.
Yeah.
So this on this day, this gentleman and whoever was with him, they were past shooting birds that had just gotten up off the roost and flew over the top of them, but like sky high. And he was past shooting birds that were beelining it right for us. And I was very fortunate. I had 12 guys, 8 of them were on the calls with me, and we would stay. They would literally shoot, and we would stay ripping on a call. And first pass, they'd come in, and we'd wipe them all out.
That's amazing.
These boys from Kentucky. I've never seen geese barrel roll as much from getting shot than from these boys. I don't know what they were. I mean, full chokes, big 3.5. I don't know what it was, but every single goose seemed to barrel roll. And
I just saw that on Jeff Coates' latest post about goose hunting. Every goose he shot did like a double front flip before hitting the ground.
yeah, I don't know what it was, and everything that came in died. And and it had happened three separate times where this gentleman had sky blasted pass shot, let's just say pass shot, at these birds, and flock came in and we wiped them all out,
Mhm.
and it was just and then
And he's
we
probably
proceeded.
over there
He's probably really
motherfucking
mad.
you.
Oh, we were kind of laughing after the third one, and the third flock's coming at us. I said, "Don't do it." And this was after they got shot at. I'm like, "Don't do it. Don't fucking do it." And 7, 8 birds come in, get wiped all out. And then yeah, we had a steady push of migrators, and I think we ended out right around 10:30, 11 o'clock or so. And yeah, man, 154 in a band. So it was for 12 guys. It was pretty
really
freaking
good.
stupid. So that was one of our one of our best days. The last day killed 187. Had another 130s, 137, I think it was. And then yeah, man, a handful from 30s to 80 bird days. I had a couple. I had back-to-backs one day. It was like 55 out of the big rig, and then went up and killed another 70 in the afternoon at a different spot. Um, so yeah, and it was, yeah, like I said, man, it was started feeling bad for the bird cleaners. I went to drop off birds one after that 70 bird hunt. I dropped birds off of them at the dark in the dark, and it's they're and it's an Amish farm too.
Yeah.
So it's like, feel bad about backing in and all this stuff. Don't want to wake them up, and here comes old Levi out of the bar. Hey, you got some more for me? I said, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that I do. But no, just keep bringing us more. So. It was yeah, you'd pull in there to pick up, and the whole family be out there plucking birds and all that stuff. So
So I know this is a common phenomenon with snow geese, and you said that the migrators were tornadoing you. Did you
Mhm.
have that thing where they're so loud honking that they could barely hear the gunshots and just kept circling over you?
I think we definitely got to a point of that, but it was yeah, there was there was so much noise going around us, with us calling, you questioned whether we were making a difference or not. But yeah, with those birds, I mean, you just stay ripping on the call. But um, yeah, it wasn't very long after shooting, that we'd have another flock coming down,
Mhm.
coming from the north, I would say. It wouldn't be birds that were stacked way up high above us. It would just be another flock coming from the north. So,
Hmm.
Yeah, I got you.
but yeah, it was. I'll send you boys some videos. It was,
Your
we'd
worst day
have.
sounds like our best day on that. In that case,
Yeah, it was. I had a couple. Let me see. I honestly, I only had one bad day, and it's the first time I've ever done it, where I absolutely lost my shit on a client, and
Mhm.
but it was justified. I don't know, it was justified, I guess. This gentleman from I'm not gonna call him a gentleman. He's a fucking asshole. From Massachusetts, um, thought that his money was coated in gold. Um, felt like he needed to call the shot, right?
Huh?
Felt like or I should say, he felt like he should be able to shoot whenever he wanted to. Um,
Mm.
and it wasn't just one big group together, right? I had 11, 12 guys, and it's three separate parties put together,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and which is something I don't really like, but it is what it is. So three guys from South Jersey, great guys. Honestly, I'm sure you know of them. Joe Reen, Noah, and Chuck. I can't remember the last name to save life of me. Sorry, boys. But um, and then it was a few guys from Maryland, great guys, and then three guys from Masshole Nation. And to be honest, it was the two of the guys were great guys. And it was their first time actually goose hunting. Um,
Mhm.
they were big pheasant guys, stuff like that. But this was their first goose hunt, and every day we do the safety talk, we do the expectations from the clients, from me, all that stuff, and kind of give them a play by play. And obviously, it's said, wait for the shot to be called.
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing you boys need to do for me
Mhm.
is just stay hidden and wait for me to scream kill him. Like that's all that you got to do. And first day, he popped shot for the call. He did it right as I was calling the shot. So we still killed like 10 or 12 out of the flock. And I knew who did it, at first, and I made light of it. Said, "Hey boys, did somebody get a little excited down there? Remember, let's wait for the shot call. It's not just your hunt; it's everybody's hunt."
Mhm.
I was very nice about it.
Yep.
Second day, uh, Sandy had actually stopped him a few times from jumping up and shooting, and then the third day went in on and this was still early in the season. Like we hadn't got that big push on the 19th yet.
Yeah.
And this was literally the group before that all happened, which makes it even worse for the rest of the guys.
Mhm.
But we went in on 250 bird feed, and they had been coming out in singles and small flocks and shit like that. But for whatever reason, they all got up from the main roost, went to this swamp that was about a mile west of there, and we heard them get up and go west, set back down, and then here they all came at once. And
Mm,
and started working them, and they're beelining it right for us. And landed the first 40 to 50 right in the hole. And the hole was set up at about 15 yards center front, three A-frame blinds. And
Mhm.
yeah, landed about the first 40 to 50, and the rest of them were just dropping panties behind them. Boy, I mean, it
yeah.
was just. I looked down the line. I said, "Boys, get ready because this is about to be one for the fucking record books." And
Mhm.
a couple of those geese had picked up to reset, and this asshole decided that he wanted to shoot at him and busted the whole hunt. Birds took off. We
Oh my
spent five
god.
we spent 5 to 10 minutes trying to work them back in, and then eventually they're like, "No, we're gone. See ya, bye." And that's when I proceeded to chew this old man up and down like he ain't never been before. Um, and that was a first for me. I'd never done that with a client, right? I had never met somebody so selfish, and just to rob 11 other guys of what would have been a memory that they would have talked about forever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and not just killing the birds. It would have just been, dude, we just set 250 honkers right in our fucking face,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So, uh, yeah, it wasn't very good for this man. He didn't say nothing. He sat in the blind the whole time. Uh, I had actually walked away because I needed to. Because it's a lot, man. These guys that, you know, clients that come out and hunt, they see all the work that's done on the hunt, but they don't
Hmm.
see everything that's done before the hunt.
Yeah.
They don't know the amount of money that is spent in gas, the miles that are driven,
The
the
time away
the
from home.
the time away from home,
Yeah.
the extra hours when we gotta make a last minute change up, and I gotta
Hmm.
go pick up a trailer an hour away and drive back, and it's 1 o'clock by I get back, and we leave the house at 3:30.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna do that shit on me. Yeah. So it was yeah, I had walked away, and I come back about 5 minutes later, because there was nothing flying. The birds were gone. And the hunt was done.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, I come back, and the rest of those boys, they had picked up where I had left off, and they were chewing this man up and down. And oh yeah, I wasn't gonna stop it. It was what why so
Yeah.
um
Everybody paid the same amount of money. Why does he have that right? He doesn't.
exactly. He absolutely not. And yeah, for him to do that for 3 days in a row, um, and I could keep going on about him, but we'll just stick with that.
It
Um,
sounds like you got some stuff to get off your chest. Go ahead.
no, it's I said it out. I said it out there in that field. Don't get me wrong. I let him know, and everybody else let him know, and they actually, it was their third day, and they paid for the bird cleaning, tipped, all that stuff. Uh, he actually tried to tip me, and I told him to just keep it, use it for gas money to get home. Um, and yeah, he was, and that's a good way to never be allowed back, is to do stupid shit like that. And
Hmm.
so he's gonna, and to also to add to that, to be a guest on that
Yeah.
hunt. It wasn't even the guy that booked the hunt,
Hmm.
and the guy that
Oh,
booked the hunt. No, yeah, it wasn't even the guy that booked the hunt to come out. He was a guest of the guy that booked it. So
so
I,
not only is he acting an asshole, he's got the guy that booked the hunt feeling like a smacked ass.
Hmm.
oh yeah, oh he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed
Yeah,
beyond all belief,
I'm sure he
and
was.
and I
Just
and I made it clear to this gentleman, that yeah, I feel bad for them because I got to ride back to Massachusetts with a fucking asshole. So
But
so
how many
other
how
than
go
that,
many years
Patriots.
have you been doing it? How many years have you been guiding
uh,
total?
guiding shit, fuck. Well, shit. Since Kansas, I
I,
mean,
I was going to say, I remember the first time we
well,
had you on, we talked about Kansas.
Hmm.
and I did some before I went to school in Illinois. A good buddy of mine, Ryan Miller, runs Hunters Helping Heroes, and
Hmm.
that's how I honestly that was my first guiding gig, was taking vets out here in Jersey and on goose hunts, and
He
then
still
yeah,
does that, right?
yeah, Ryan still does it, and
Yeah,
I think
I thought I've seen it on Facebook a couple times before.
he's great dude. I think he's back in Florida now, and but no, he's a great guy, and he's a stone cold killer too, man. But yeah, I'd say guiding. Yeah, I really started guiding more every day was when I got into Kansas. and was working at Flint Oak Ranch. So doing the
So
pheasant stuff every day.
for all those years, though, only ever having one person like that, that's still pretty good, I
Yeah,
think. I'm curious on how many like Coates or Stanfield has to deal with on a yearly
oh
basis,
my
you know?
God. Oh my God. I couldn't even imagine. And that's honestly who I can really only think of him just because it's the freshest, obviously, in mind. But no, I really can't think of anybody that was that much of an asshole for 3 days in a row.
Hmm.
Um, I can think of a couple deer hunters, that guided out in Kansas that were pricks.
Yeah, but I
You know,
think I don't want to say the margin of respect, but I can't really find a different word. I think there's a little bit difference of respect for waterfowl guides and deer guides. I
oh
think
yeah.
there's a different tension there.
Well, and I think you find it more with the deer clients is that they come out expecting to shoot a deer, right?
Hmm.
They paid their money and they're like, "Where's my deer?"
To their point,
And
it's not cheap to go on a deer hunt.
no, and by all means, man, I
Yeah,
I
I'm not saying go
totally
act
get
like an
what
asshole, but
Yeah.
no, but I totally get it. And when I was out there, everybody got the same effort from me. Everybody was gonna get a deer. If it was my choice, and
yeah,
everybody
Hmm.
got that effort, and a couple didn't, and most did, and the ones that didn't wanted to guide the guide, right? And I get it. I was young at the time. I was 22, 23. And I get it. You got a 45, 50-year-old guy that comes out, or older, that comes
Hmm.
out that's been deer hunting longer than I've been alive,
yeah.
and they question my tactics, I guess, or my stand options, or where what, and they're over my shoulder every 5 seconds, like, let me see what deer's on camera. Let me see this deer. Let me see this deer. Let me see. It's
Mm,
so yeah, the guys that would come out and be so worried about shooting a deer usually ended up having the worst experience because
Hmm.
they were so worried about killing that deer. They didn't
yeah,
take everything into account. It'd be guys from South Jersey that came out. And actually, this was one of the groups. It was a South Jersey group came out and hunted with me. And it was like a group of 4, 5, 6, maybe. It's been a long time, but everybody killed except for one guy. And the one guy that didn't kill was the dude that was over my shoulder the whole time. He wanted to question where I was setting him. Was the deer here this morning? Was he, did he piss in that scrape within the last hour? Shit like that. It's
yeah.
like, buddy, I'm putting you in the best spot right now. All right. That I think
Hmm.
is, that you're going to kill a deer in. Right. And it's hunting at the end of the day. Right. We're putting our most effort
Your
forward.
best foot forward. Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
hunting at the
I
And
end of
was
the
gonna say
day.
it's gotta almost come from because I mean every waterfowler, like you just said, you just killed 2,100 birds in a 7 day span. But you've also been out there on the one bird days, the no bird days,
Hmm.
yeah.
and you
And I
take
still
the
enjoy them.
grace and yeah, exactly. You take the grace into the hunt where a deer hunter sits out all day on a buck he's seen on camera 5 days in a row, doesn't shoot him, and gets all pissed off and goes home,
That's right.
and then
So
thinks about that.
It's
it's
just a different mindset.
Yeah,
It's a
it really is.
totally.
So, but it's yeah, I definitely had more fun, guiding waterfowl guys out west than
Hmm.
the deer. So, and you get tired of dragging out other people's deer, man. That fucking
Yeah.
sucks.
that's I hated that about so the drive we did. I drove with them for 3 days, and since I was the youngest and the newest driver, me and another guy had to drag everybody's deer out.
No
Mm.
shit.
Yeah,
Fuck
it was.
that.
I was so mad because we would drive the Pine Barrens,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like you'd be walking flat sandy ground, and then it'd be like a 4 foot water hole, and there was
Yep.
no other way around it
Hmm.
Yep.
in
Dude,
December.
I can remember a buck. Well, we had killed one in early muzzleloader, my first year, and deer had died. The deer was full of velvet.
Hmm.
And the guy wanted to shoulder mount him like that. Well, he killed it in a standing bean field, and we had to go across the standing bean field. So we cut a tree down, about 3, 4 inch, tree, And oh yeah, we crisscrossed the legs across that son of a bitch, and we threw him over the shoulder. We walked him out of
Oh,
there. And oh yeah, and then there was another. This deer dropped down about the whole ridge was probably about 2,000 feet down in this river bottom, creek bottom, and big old 8 point died right at the bottom of it, man. And there was four of us, and we did the same thing. We crisscrossed legs over a tree, and threw them over the shoulders, and had four little humps that had to get over before we got up to the top. But yeah, man, it was yeah, you get tired dragging out other people's deer. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to goose hunting real quick.
yeah,
Do you have any expectations for this season? Do you think we're going to get a nice push of birds, like a nice late push of birds? Because I don't know if you guys are like us down here right now. There is a lot of geese in South Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
we're shit stacked. It's
Yeah, yeah. I've seen your Snapchats, but I didn't know if they had stuck
yeah,
around yet or if they're moving with this
yeah.
cold, windy spell.
Yeah.
There's still, I get pictures sent from buddies that are driving to work, near spots that I hunt every day. And it's like, yep, this field's loaded, this field's loaded. I'll go drive around after work afternoon. And they're everywhere right now. It's absolutely stupid.
And
But yeah, we'll definitely get more that push down.
mhm.
There's a lot of geese in southern New York right now, and kind of halfway up the state. But yeah, it's kind of tough right now.
Yeah.
It's tough to, see all these birds and be like, no, no, just one,
Yeah,
I
that's
was just about
yeah.
to ask that. How are you going to deal with after a beginning season like that? Deal with this whole one bird limit thing during the main season.
I'm going to other states. That's I'm going to other states to goose hunt, honestly. Like we're gonna do, we'll do our holiday hunts and stuff like that, but I'm planning a couple trips to
Mhm.
other states
What
that
states
that
are
have a better
different?
limit. So,
PA,
well, this
North
PA
year,
is.
Carolina.
PA, Ohio, is where I'm thinking. They got a five bird limit out there. Um, and then, some trips up. We're gonna do some duck trips too. We'll do a lot more duck hunting this year.
Mhm.
Had a couple good hunts this year so far in the first split. But yeah, it definitely sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know what else they need, what else they need to
I
see.
was going to say, do you
Um,
think the Atlantic Flyway Committee will look at this, what we're seeing right now, and
from what talking with some buddies, there is word that we're bumping back up next season. So fingers crossed, um, that we do. Uh, but I don't know what they saw the last few years, the last several years. Um, even when we were one bird, what was it? 3-4 years ago.
Mhm.
yeah, I think
You
that
know,
was because we went what two? It went 5-3-2-2-1 2-3-1, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was yeah, three bird, then two bird for a couple of years, then one bird for a couple of years, and then we bumped back up to three. But and yeah, it's and especially after the season that we had last year, um,
That was
we
an
could have kept.
incredible season.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, we shot the piss out of them, and it was like, we could have kept shooting birds all the way through the end of February,
Yep.
you
Mhm.
know, um, and a healthy population.
Yes.
I'm not saying, 100 birds here, 100 birds there. There was several thousand,
Yes.
Mhm.
tens of thousands
Yeah.
from,
At the end of goose season down here in South Jersey, we were loaded with them, covered in them.
hmm it was, those last 3 days, we killed like 120, 125, something like that. Like, I don't know. But we hunted those last 3 days, and I think we didn't hunt longer than 3 or 4 hours
Yeah.
Mhm.
combined.
Yeah.
You know, show up at 8 o'clock, set the spread right there by the barn. Fuck,
And I
shoot your
was
birds.
so mad. So what? I forget what it was. We were supposed to come home with you guys, and
The last day.
I think we went and shot scoters that day. Oh, you know what? We
No, you
went
boys
snow
went and hunt
goose,
snows.
and that was the hunt that should have been. I mean, we had 10 to 12,000 snow geese come over us. And
That's what you're saying. They were stacked in there.
and we just could not get them to drop. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was the wind. I don't know if they opened up a new
Well, they were
feed.
going to the three fields over. We could see where they were landing.
I don't know what we could have done different other than add 1,000 decoys to the spread that
Yeah.
could have got them in there.
Yeah.
We shot one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The
I
farmer
think it was
came. We went down.
good.
The farmer said, "How'd you guys do?" He said, "Oh, we shot
Womp
one."
womp.
He goes,
Oh,
"One."
shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, that last day, man, it was we ended up shooting it's like a 16 man in about 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, because you guys kept rotating in and out of the truck, right?
Yeah, for the most part. We had a couple guys that actually left early. You know, we had shot, they left with their birds, and yeah, had a few more come back out. And yeah, we wrapped it up. Yeah, it was fucking stupid. So white Tyvek suits and
Yeah.
laying on the snow in the decoys and shooting
Mhm.
honkers point blank. It was, and to be honest, the majority of those were singles and pairs, and we had a couple good flocks get in there, but
That's the best if
honestly,
you ask me.
no,
Small
and that's
flock.
why
I love
yeah,
that.
we hunted the same spot the last 2 days of the season, and we could have shot in the big flocks the second to last day, but it was singles and pairs, I think, and we shot 7 or 8 man like in 35 minutes or something like that.
That's just dumb.
And we got out of there real quick, and then the majority of the birds came, and
Yeah.
we actually had some specks in that field feeding. There's about half a dozen or so, but we weren't waiting, dude. We're going out with a bang. We're shooting
Yeah.
Canadas.
Yeah.
Like if they
Yeah.
came in with a flock, whatever. But yeah. So it was a great way to end the season. It was a great season overall. But yeah, to get kicked in the nuts and see what they're allowing us this year,
Mhm.
it sucks. So
So
um,
I know, and
Fucking Maryland.
I know this is coming from Facebook, but and we all know the kinds of people that are on Facebook,
oh yeah.
but there's been a lot of uproar in the outdoors community with our new governor. Do
Uh,
you think that's going to impact us as much as the boomers are saying? Or what are your thoughts on all that?
Well, what do you mean specifically?
Okay, I keep hearing things like the animal rights packs are in our pockets and shit like that. Like there's going to be hunting reform.
Honestly, to be honest, brother, I haven't, and it's bad on me. I haven't really looked into it as much, so
Mhm.
I don't have a good answer for you on that, to be honest. So yeah, that's just I'm, you know, bad on me on not really looking into him more lately.
You're
But
I just didn't know if you heard more than, what I'm seeing on there, if there's just an
no,
overreaction. I mean, I figured we're all probably in the same boat. We're just going to take whatever happens as it comes. But
I don't
exactly.
I don't think the hunting community is in any kind of jeopardy
No, we're always
because
going to be there.
yeah, I think the trapping community might be
hmm,
in a little bit of jeopardy, especially if these stupid ass organizations keep running around the woods taking fucking coons out of dog proof traps.
yeah, that's true.
Oh, shit.
But
Well, and the
yeah, that
black
happened
bears
last
too.
year.
We'll see what happens with the black bears. He's
Yeah.
a fucking
So
tree hugger
far,
too.
nobody screwed with the season this year, and they, from what I've heard, I think 70 to 75% of the quota got filled this year so far. They're still going
Yeah.
to have a December season.
Good.
Yeah, they killed a lot of bears up in like Sussex County area. There's a guy, Timber Life Outdoors, I think it is.
Yes.
Brian Melvin. Shout out to Brian. Believe he killed, what was it, the new world record last year?
Oh, that was
Um,
him.
yeah, that was
So that's
Brian.
why his page blew
I
up.
heard that was a crazy bear.
Well, and also too, man, he the video side of that, like the shit that he captures, like he had a buck that he just killed the other day, right? And he had a
That was a
camera,
hammer.
yeah, the big 8 point, fucking
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
The guy kills great deer, and yeah, he's a stone cold killer too, man. But he had a camera set up on the other side of a scrape, I think it was, and that buck came cruising through, and you got the buck and him in the tree in the same frame. Like,
That's
and
cool.
arrows zip through him, and he's running multiple cameras. It looks like. I mean, 2 to 3, and but yeah, they killed a lot of big bears this year. And yeah, the content that he puts out, it's great shit. So you guys gotta go check him out over there. Yeah, like I said, I think it's Timber Life Outdoors, I believe it is. So
We talked to him last year, so he DM'd us after he saw the trapping content,
okay,
and he sent us a picture of an albino raccoon,
no shit.
and he's like, "Yeah, you guys should come trap this." And me and Ryan were like, "Yeah, we'll come up there and set traps for that thing." He goes, "No, you guys wouldn't come up here," and I'm like, "Dude, we will come up there
You'd
for
be
3 days
surprised.
and sleep in our trucks." And he was like,
Like,
"Oh." He was like, I'll let you know." And
yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I've never, to be honest, I've never met him personally. I've talked with him a few times over social media, and yeah, it was like a goose spot that like a September spot like years back and shit, and farmer's like, yeah, I'm letting a guy in here, Brian, so I'm like, all right, no problem, whatever. But yeah, and then I saw him on like, Facebook or Instagram one day, and I was like, fuck yeah, he's the guy looks like he does it right, and
yeah,
and he seems like a great guy. So, but he's
yeah.
yeah, they kill a lot of big bears up there this year, man. A lot of big
you
bears.
you gonna go after one this year?
Fuck no. I mean, if like there's a couple on the farm running around. There's one. Honestly, I think it's like one or two, but the one he's like 100 pounds. And
Mhm.
he's been on the farm the last few years, and 2 years ago he was standing up on his back legs just to look at me when I go into bait. And looking through the tall grass and shit. So and but no, if he starts causing a problem, we'll see. But honestly,
Yeah.
I've got no real desire to go chase one.
Mhm.
I didn't
You know,
realize how destructive they were for crops.
oh yeah, cornfields, anything,
Yeah,
ag fields, all that stuff.
I never knew that.
Well, I mean, you think, I mean, you get a 200 plus pounder that walks through a bean field, he's leaving a trail. He's knocking
That's
shit over.
that's
So
Yeah,
same thing
that's
with
not
fair.
corn.
small.
Yeah.
you know, it was when I used to work at a private club up in Sussex County, and yeah, you'd get down in those bog swamps, and you'd see the trail that they would hollow out through the brush, just walking through it, and you could tell how big the bear was just by the size of the trail going through
Yeah.
there. They just walked right through that shit, and yeah, it definitely gives you an uneasy feeling. Blood tracking on that same trail, a deer on that
That's
same trail.
At least
So.
I know with black bears you can kind of scare them. I know that they're more likely to get scared than one of
There's
the meaner broods.
Yeah, there was a few where, I had to go rescue members from the deer stand because they'd come in, bears would come into the bait and
Hmm.
wouldn't leave. And yeah, I had a member call me. I was sitting there waiting for him to come back to the clubhouse and didn't show, and then finally he called me about, a little after dark. Like, hey Scotty, you around? I said, yeah, I'm waiting on you, sir. And he's like, well, you think you could come pick me up from the stand? I said, yeah, is everything all right? He's like, well, I got about a 400 or 500 pounder sitting on the corn, and he ain't leaving. I said, well, you holler at him at all? He's like, yeah, made a little noise. I'm like, all right, you got a water bottle? Yeah, throw it at him. All right, hits him. Bear doesn't move, looks up at him. Fuck you, dude. So I drove the diesel truck right up to the back of the tree, shined headlights right on this little son of a bitch, and oh yeah, dude, sitting on his ass, legs spread, just shoveling corn into his mouth,
Having a
Munching
great
corn.
time.
munching corn, honking the horn at him, oh hooting and hollering at him. He's looking at me like, "Fuck you, dude." All right, like, and then yeah, finally I took the shotgun out, didn't shoot him, obviously. I
Yeah.
had some 7.5s, and I shot up in the tree above him, and he didn't even run off. He just kind of did the fat man roll onto his legs, and just walked his ass right down the hill. And Frank just scurried down that old tree stand, jumped in the truck, and we were out of there.
Hauled ass
But
into the truck.
oh my God, you ain't never seen a 65-year-old man move that quick. So,
Have you
uh,
seen the video of the one that was climbing the dude's deer stand and he maced it and it jumped down and ran headfirst into a tree?
oh no, I had
Dude, it's so
I've-
funny. You can hear the thump when that thing hits the fucking tree.
I've
That video
seen
is
so
It's
many.
so funny.
Dude, I've seen so many, where guys are up in Canada hunting, and the bear literally, you just hear the claw marks come up the tree before you actually see the bear. Then he
He
comes
was
up
like,
and sniffs you, and then climbs back down. Like, fuck that. No,
yeah,
fuck
no
that.
way. He was like 4 feet under this dude. If I had bear
Yep.
mace, I would have done the same thing probably.
I'll
Yep.
just send you the video.
Dude,
That
it's
video
so
is
funny.
hilarious.
Dude, it's yeah, there's a lot of bears up there in Sussex County, man. It's
Mhm.
so it's a good, we're definitely putting a little dent in them. There's so many, but it's trying to get them in check. But it's going to take a few years, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
Well, look, Scotty, we appreciate having you on. Is there anything else you
hey,
want to cover?
honestly, boys, I think it was good catching up with you boys, and
Absolutely.
we need to get together this year and shoot some geese. Hopefully, we'll get back together during snow goose. I know that for sure,
Yes.
and we're
Mhm.
definitely going to kill them that day. We got a good
Yeah.
look at them, but it's they were across the street, really looking good. But
There was a lot of them across the street. Yeah.
yeah, there was. But no, man, it's been great bullshitting with you guys as always, and really appreciate you guys having me on. And yeah, man, it's I'll keep sending you them fucking memes, Brian.
Yeah. If anybody wants to get a hold of you about getting on a goose hunt, how do they do that?
You can reach me, Instagram at Turning Point Outdoors. Um, to be honest, we're not really going to push it a whole lot this year. We're going to kind of we're definitely going to do some veteran days, some youth days, some stuff like that. And honestly, guys want to go out, come out, and I'll just, whatever, $25 a gun, just come out and shoot. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But no, we're really going to take this year and do some traveling and go hunt other states and kind of go get some other experiences in. And we'll definitely be doing some work on the back end, behind the scenes
Mhm.
stuff. But yeah, I mean, guys want to get a hold of me, Turning Point Outdoors, or my other personal Instagram, Scotty Hunter 93. And yeah, you guys shoot me a message. We can figure something out. And yeah, man. Everybody, hope everybody has a safe and successful season this year. And yeah, other than that, boys, it's been good. So,
Yes, sir.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Give him hell.
all right, boys. See you.
See ya.
Ryan, you gotta enter. You gotta end it on the YouTube stream. Just
What? All right, you do it then.
I'm gonna do it.
Do you know how? You sure you know how?